Good evening. I am here with my pal Stu, and I am just about to go through an evolution of sorts on some of my strategies for packing and shipping cards. This is a business where I think you're constantly evolving, especially as your business grows. And I'm reaching a point where I might be changing some things. So I wanted to take a minute and really show how I started off packing and shipping my cards because this has been pretty consistent for the last 9 months as I got into this business. So before I start to think about changing anything, I really wanted to just record my process once and share it with some others that maybe are just starting off because I think this process can work for you for quite a while if you choose to. All right, so here we go. So I have two cards here that I sold today. Nothing too special. A couple, got an insert from 2023 Big Leagues. I've got a 1989 Bowman, Kirby Puckett. So the first thing I'm going to do is I put all of my cards in a sleeve. So I'm going to slide them into those sleeves. I think this is one of the most important things in this business is making sure you take care of those cards properly. And then I'm going to put them in a top loader. Tap it down. So everything I ship is sleeved and in a top loader. And then I use painter's tape to seal that in. Doesn't have to be painter's tape, but you don't want to use like Scotch tape. You got to have some kind of masking tape that'll easily remove. Tap that one down a little bit more because you don't want it to be something that is so adhesive that it sticks to the card and causes some damage. So I generally have some painter's tape around as a homeowner. I do a few home repairs now and then. So painter's tape is something that's generally in my house. So that's what I use. If you want to use regular masking tape, you can. Now, the other thing that I like to do, and not everybody does this, it's certainly not required by any means, but I like to, when I pick the cards, especially if I'm going to pick a bunch of them before I ship them, I like to actually write the name of the person getting the card, because that way if I get interrupted or something comes up and I'm like, oh, where was which card was for who, I don't want to mix those up, right? So I will go off my pick list and I will say, okay, this one's going to this person. And I think it's nice too that you show a little bit of handwritten information on it as well. It shows you're an individual business owner. You're still engaged with the business. So I write the names on it just like that. Nothing special. It shows that I was personally engaged with their cards. And then we get a print or shipping labels. So this is one of the things that I'll probably change soon, just because my volume is growing. But when you start off, you can certainly get by with some lower tech processes, and when you do that, I think it's okay if you're gonna print labels on paper. I think that's fine, right? So that's what I do yet. Now, as you get to higher volume cards, you're gonna want to do something a little different. But right now, I print them. So I went to my labels awaiting shipment. I'm gonna select all. I make sure that my shipping specifics are accurate on there. I'm seeing the 63 cents a piece to ship them eBay standard envelope. I'm going to review that purchase, confirm and pay. So I've got it set up. It'll come out of any funds. I get funds disbursements weekly. So then during the week, I just pull out of those funds to pay the shipping on these cards. So, and then I'm just going to print it on my printer, and then I'll get started. If I don't currently have funds in my printer, which occasionally happens, I think it's Tuesday, I get my disbursements all the time. But let's say Tuesday afternoon, right after that, I print out a shipping label and get it ready to go. It is actually, let's see here, stop sharing. It is something that you have to have a payment form on file, just for that time that you maybe don't have enough funds in there. And let's say you have a little bit of funds in there, they'll take out that, and then they'll take out the rest on your payment card, whatever you set up. So my shipping labels just printed out. I am going to go ahead and grab those, and here we'll see those shipping labels. So I'll switch that back. Now, one of the key pieces of equipment that I have is just a plain old pair of scissors. So I'm going to cut these labels. I cut them a little smaller on the bottom because they're actually a little bit bigger than your number 6 envelope. And then I just cut them out, and I will do typically 2 at a time like this. Cut around the edges. See if I can get right on the edge. Get that out like so. One more side. And there. And then I start to divide them. So again, I cut the bottom a little bit tighter. And across the top of the second one. There we go. So I've got my labels. I've got some trash. And I'm done with my scissors. Okay. So that didn't take too long. Obviously, I'm talking through it, so it takes a little bit longer right now. So then the next thing I do is I get some plain old kids' school Elmer's glue. I like the purple kind that actually shows you some color until it's dry. Because then if I get interrupted, I know that I've put some glue on there. This just essentially, this is something I came up with because when I first started, what annoyed me more than anything is the labels would move around when I tried to secure them to the labels later, when I get to a little bit of packing tape. But now that I have tape on those, I will flip this over and I will just center that label on there like so. Here's the other one. Again, just put that label right in the middle like so. Okay, so now I've got my two eBay standard envelopes ready to go. Then I can match up my names on it. Slide those in. And here goes the Kirby Puckett. Again, I'll double check. Yep, match. Or as we like to say at work, matchy. Now, here's another little personal touch that I have. I've got these little 1-inch thank you stickers. I get these, there's different variations of this. I had some 3-inch ones that are pretty big, but where this came from is, as someone with a subscription store, you get a credit of like $25 every quarter from eBay to use on shipping supplies. So I got some thank you stickers, and now I don't have to lick that envelope. I just put a little sticker on there. Buyers appreciate it. I have buyers mention that sometimes. Stu likes it. He's always a fan. But yeah, buyers mention, hey, I got your card today with the thank you label. Appreciate it. Great card. Packaged well. Got here really fast. That's one of the biggest things. I ship 1-day service. So then the last piece is actually tape. So after a little while of doing this, I invested in one of these tape handlers. It's not that expensive, maybe 12, 15 bucks. But this thing is a lifesaver. The roll just slides on there. You've got a cutting edge on there. It makes it a lot more easier to handle. Before I had this and I was trying to tape these packages, I would have the tape twisting up on me and stuff, and it was just a nightmare. So I really do 2 pieces of tape on an envelope. I will pull it out, line it up along the top, smooth it out, flip it over, pull out a little bit extra, rip it off, and then all I got to do is fold it over like this, boom, fold it over like this, boom. Okay, that's one piece. Then I'll do another one, press the other half of the envelope. Again, line it up a little bit towards the bottom. And a little extra to wrap over. Boom. That one. Boom. So there is fully sealed, ready to go envelope. I'm in a cold winter climate. I believe this packing tape helps protect these, paper envelopes a little bit too from the weather. So I kind of like the tape for that reason. The other one I'll do quick. You want to avoid any kind of bubbles or seams in the tape. Primarily, the area of concern is any of the areas that get scanned. So this metered mail QR, you want to make sure you're super smooth with the tape over that. And you're not going to be perfect on this at first. It takes a little while to get your hands trained. At this point, if this would be even quicker if I wasn't talking through it. It's just a flick of the wrist once you bring it out of there, or stretch it across. You flick the wrist, spin it over, rip it off, and fold it over the back, and you're good to go. So that is both of them ready to go, just like that. I believe that that's pretty manageable until you start getting up. I don't know. If you get up to, say, 30 cards a day, you're probably going to start to struggle a little bit, and you might want to look at making some improvements on the way you do this. But like I said, this is how I've done it since I started in March of 2023. So now we're in January 2024. I've watched my business grow, and this has worked for me thus far. It doesn't take that long out of my day. Some people use a thermal label printer and then they don't do any of the taping. A lot of people won't write anything on it. Some people do write little personal notes. That's all personal preference and how you want your brand to be on your store. But so for now, I got these two ready to go. I again wanted to share that with you just to show you can go very low tech, very simple. There's really no barriers to getting started with this if you're really looking to do it. So until next time, peace out.